Okay, so I'm going to get rid of my flood results. This is where you guys are right now. You've drawn in a river reach, right? And we're going to go and extract sections. So we want to identify where the road is, and we want to go some distance upstream and some distance downstream. We're not going to put the roadway in yet. We're going to do that in the next exercise. But we want to have some distance downstream where the water fully expands outward. They call that an exit cross section. So, I mean, if I look at this, it's probably going to expand outward, probably at the end right in here. So one way I could do it, just to show you, is I could come in, and I'm just demonstrating. If you guys watch my screen, I could just draw in a polyline representing where my section might go. So I want to cut it perpendicular to the contours. I want to capture, I guess, kind of in here. Well, it's kind of hard to get perpendicular. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. But I might do something like that and then say, no, I don't like it over here. This isn't very good. So I could grab this line, press function key F4 again, and I can grab that vertex. So I can manipulate these lines ahead of time so I can get this exactly where I want. So you can come in here and adjust this. So for example, let's go and put another one in. We'll just say draw polyline again. And I'll probably put one in maybe somewhere in here, right? Perpendicular to the contours. The same thing over here. So decide, where you want to cut your sections. Now, another little trick I do is I always try to figure out where the thaw lag is. So here I can see there's a low spot. So where I cut my section is not really catching it. So I might actually pull that line down to capture that contour right there. So you might want to go and check that here. Here it looks like there's a contour line right there. So maybe I want to adjust that down. Now we're pulling off a DM, so it doesn't much matter. But if I still want to catch that contour, again, I can press function key F4, insert another vertex, and just pull that vertex down and kind of capture it. So you want to think about where you're cutting the sections. That automated one works really nicely when things are nice and smooth, like at the first exercise I did this morning. But in this case, you might want to fine-tune things. So here, looks like I got that invert pretty well. In fact, I could, if I want, grab that and just pull it up just a little bit to kind of capture that. All right, so I want to kind of identify where the water is fully expanded out, and then where I want to put my sections, how far downstream. We're more worried about what's happening in this bridge and what's going to happen to this property upstream because of that bridge structure in there. So we don't necessarily need to go that far down. We could theoretically get away with this contour, this cross section right here, and then we'll put in another full valley section. But since I'm able to get the data, I'll probably put at least that one in, and I might even go that far down. Let's worry about the upstream side. We're not worrying about the roadway. We're more worried about where the water's contracting inward. Here it's pretty narrow, right? You see this is almost like a canyon here. If we go look at it in 3D, if we rotate it around into a 3D view, well, I don't have an elevation grid loaded. Let's turn that on. There we go. Turn that on. There, now it's got an elevation grid. Otherwise, it's just contouring it in space. So we can see here I've exaggerated the relief by a factor of 50%, so I may want to drag that down. So if you're working in areas that are really flat, you can use that and kind of exaggerate the relief there. But in this case, we're not. We're not on Mars or the Moon or something like that. So we'll zoom in there. So here you can see that channel's fairly narrow, isn't it? Through there, it's fairly narrow. So we want to, probably cut our section. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. We'll probably put one right through there. Let's see. I'll put one right through there. So let's do that. Go back over to our 2D view, and we're going to put one right where it kind of pinches down right there. In fact, so it looks like a little road there. Oh, I guess maybe right there. That's a good spot. So again, we'll go and choose our draw polyline command. And we can just identify where that is. It's right in this area here, right? So we can come in, kind of sketch in something like that. Okay, and then where do we put the next one? Well, maybe somewhere up here. And maybe I got my last one is way up here, right? So we'll just come in here, tie that in. Right, so I got my sections drawn, and you know how to adjust this. I won't repeat that, but you saw how I can move these up and down, and I can edit that. Now I want to go and extract those sections from here. So I'm going to go over to my input menu. So go to cross sections, say assign cross sections. I'm going to switch it over to the contours. Do minor contours, because they're every foot or so. And we can go and just pick this. Let's try this here. Yep, it created it. So that's working. So instead of cutting from the elevation grid, cut from the contours. Choose the minor contour layer so you can see that's instantaneous. So we go and look at it now. We can see your sections in there. So try that.